Grand Rising and happy Monday, folks. I hope everyone had a fabulous weekend, and I hope that you are preparing yourself and setting the intention to have a fabulous week ahead of you. I wanted to start off this video with a little bit of a sound cleansing. Hopefully that will help to have shaken loose any stagnant energy that you're still holding on to get you prepared to move forward to this new energy of this new week. Today we are continuing on our Fool's Journey. And the card we're going to be focusing on, and the energy that we're going to be focusing on today, is the energy of the Hierophant. So I want to show you a couple of the different cards. You gotta excuse my finger because I grated it with a herb grater. Stuff happens. Anyways, this is one depiction of the Hierophant card, and the Hierophant is a teacher. And we'll get into detail of the meanings and everything in just a second. But I wanted to show you this card. This is from the Everyday Witch Tarot. I love this card. You see a yoga teacher here teaching a male, what looks like a male figure and a female figure. So teaching about the balance between the divine masculine, divine feminine. This one is from the Light Seers Tarot, and I absolutely love this card. I love all of the illustrations in the Light Seers Tarot. I think they're absolutely beautiful. This happy teacher, he looks like a yoga teacher of some sort, or like a spiritual teacher of some sort. And behind him is that stairway to heaven. We have some symbols over here, if you can see them. I see the Om there, I see the Jesus fish there, I see the pentagram there, I see a triskelion there. So a whole bunch of different spiritual and even a little heart, spiritual and metaphysical symbols that are on here. And he just looks joyful. So I really love that, and I love the pinks, and I'm usually not a pink person, but I love the pink speck there. This one I also love, and this is from the Book of Shadows So Below deck. This woman, she's a teacher of herbs, and this one just makes my heart sing because I love herbalism. I plan on building my own apothecary in my home, and so she has somebody who's coming to her, and she has her little mortar and pestle over here. She has all her herbs in the bag, and not only is she providing the medicine, but she's also teaching about it. Okay, so this very much goes along with my ideal of not that I invented it, but one that I live by, which is if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. Now, obviously, I'm vegan and I don't condone fishing, but the message behind that saying is that you can give somebody, you can help them out, and you can give them something to get them past that time that they're going through temporarily. But if you teach them how to do it for themselves, if you teach them the knowledge, then that will last a lifetime. And for me, being a spiritual teacher, that's something that really resonates with me because I want to teach people how to navigate their own spiritual journeys. This is also a Hierophant card. This is from John Holland's Psychic Tarot. And this one is called Wisdom in this deck. And you see this old, wise, sage looking kind of guy. And he has his book of knowledge in his hand. The sun is coming out. He has purple robes, and purple is a color that correlates or corresponds to spirituality, to higher knowledge, to royalty as well. Purple has always been my favorite color, and so that is what the meaning of that color is. Now, if you are pulling cards for yourself, or if you got a reading and the Hierophant card came up, if you're doing daily pulls for yourself, this is speaking about the fact that you are in the energy of the Hierophant, who is a teacher. I am very honored to be a spiritual teacher. There are many different forms of teaching, right? So if you pull this card, it could symbolize that you and your life purpose are meant to be a teacher. But I don't want you to think that that just means like a high school teacher, middle school teacher, elementary teacher. You could be a spiritual teacher like myself. You could be an herbal teacher. You could be a yoga teacher. You could be a crystal healer. You could teach people that. I feel like anything you really do in this lifetime, you're teaching somebody how to do something else, whether it's how to use a product or how to, if you're giving them advice, you're teaching them about life itself. So you don't even have to formally be a teacher, but your life experience and your journey itself can can be very teaching to someone else. And you never know, I've learned this a lot in my journey as a teacher. You never know who's receiving your message or how that message is going to affect their life. Sometimes I do messages and I'm like, was that good? I hope that, and then somebody will come back and be like, you have no idea how much I needed to hear those words. A lot of people are meant to be teachers, but you're dealing with imposter syndrome. And all of us teachers really go through this. Entrepreneurs go through this. People in life go through this. They're just like, who am I to teach somebody else? Or who am I to sell somebody this product? Or I don't have, my life is not completely perfect, so how can I advise others on their life? Well, that's because no one's life is completely perfect. Perfection is something that is unattainable. It does not exist, okay? So I recommend that everybody learn to take that middle path. You can learn a lot about that through Buddhism, where you're not trying to be perfect and you're not completely being lackadaisical, but you're right there in the middle and you're being you. You're taking that middle ground one step at a time. But a lot of people, what's holding you back, and especially if you're listening to this message right now, I feel like someone out there is resonating with this message right now. You may be suffering from imposter syndrome, where you're afraid to implement or execute your next big idea because you're like, I don't think that I'm there to tell somebody how to do this. And you are. You never know who needs that message, okay? There's people out there who are going to receive that message. It's going to be life-changing for them. And it's going to be something that you thought about like over and over and over when you could have just, disseminated that knowledge. So that could be an issue. That could be a theme that you're going through. So it could be a message that you are supposed to be a teacher or a mentor. It could also conversely mean that you are meant at this time to receive teaching or receive a mentor. Okay, so you may be going back to school if you pull this card, or if this is the energy that you're in. You may be self-educating, reading up on a lot of books, listening to lectures or TED Talks. You may be going to retreats or workshops. You may be getting certified in a certain thing. You may need training, 500 hours or 1,000 hours to become a specific kind of yoga teacher or any other teacher that there is. You may also be learning from life and or nature, because we see like the sun here. We see he's in an outside kind of environment. Listen, the Transcendentalists, I spoke about the Transcendentalists before, the Henry David Thoreau, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Margaret Fuller. These people all talk about how you can see and feel and experience God by being in nature, that everything in nature, including us, is a reflection of God. And if you sat that down and you were to observe how flowers bloom or how the sun rises, okay, you would see that this stuff all correlates with ourselves. You would learn a lot about life, okay, the patience that it takes for bees to build their hives, or how certain animals flock together, certain animals are loners, right? The more you observe nature, from how the trees, how in fall they lose their leaves, but they're not afraid of, will my leaves ever come back? Because they know what a season is. They know that by springtime their leaves will start to grow. If you learn that lesson, you'll also learn in your life how to let go of things that are no longer serving you, because something better will always replace it. So I really suggest everybody observe nature. Find your favorite spot outdoors, whether it's by a body of water, whether it's out in a field, whether it's in a desert. Of course, places safe. Don't be going nowhere, out there by yourself. Don't nobody know where you are. You know what I'm saying? But it's places that are safe. And go and observe nature, because that's going to teach you a lot about life. Another thing with this wisdom, okay, because I was watching this show called Initiation with, what is his name? Mateus de Stefano. Mateus de Stefano. I'm so sorry if I butchered that man's name. It's on Gaia TV. And he's talking about like star seeds. how the first people were made, a whole bunch of different things about sacred geometry, about creation itself, all of this. But one of the things that he was talking about, which is something that I also talk to my clients about, is about how our knowledge from our past lives is housed in our DNA. We have strands of DNA that scientists call junk DNA because they don't know what it's for. That is your spiritual DNA, okay? That is where your past lifetimes, information about your past lifetimes is harnessed, about your purpose and where you came from, about your challenges. Everything is in that DNA. It's also programmed in your blood cells, okay? Watch that show to give you a more in-depth explanation of what I'm talking about. But it's about tapping into your personal wisdom, because this woman here, she's an herbalist, right? But in past lifetimes, it's sure that she was either a high priestess, that she was either a doctor, that she was a medicine woman of a tribe. Because the things that we do, the things that we are interested in, this is not our first lifetime being interested in it. This is not my first lifetime teaching spiritually. I've been the wife of a rabbi. I've been what they called a witch, even though I was just a forward-thinking, independent, free-spirited woman. I've been a high priestess in Atlantis. I've been in the spiritual business and the healing business for multiple lifetimes. And so whatever it is that you do, and that's why it's important that you chase your passions, because your passions lead you to what your passion has always been. And by uncovering that passion, you learn your purpose. And your purpose is something you can definitely do, because you just have to kind of get yourself reacclimated with it, because you've done it in past lifetimes. If you can't stop thinking about music, if you can't stop thinking about inventing certain things, if you can't stop thinking about witchcraft, if you can't stop thinking about cars, and building cars, whatever it is, this is not your first life. This is not your first rodeo, baby, because energy never dies. It cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred, right? It also can't be created, which means there's nothing new under the sun. Our energy is our consciousness, is our soul. While our bodies may change, our energy stays the same. And that energy has taken time to learn things. And it's not going to keep learning things over and over. It's going to store its knowledge within itself and within us. So if you take time to get knowledge of self, this learning is also about learning knowledge of self. This will also help you out in life, okay? And learning about your DNA and where you come from. This is a number 5 card, which means usually this learning comes at either a transitional time. Let me fix this a little bit. This whole time it's been a little crooked a little bit. 5 is a number that's associated with change and transition. So I associate it with butterflies because butterflies symbolize change and transition. Either in order to change your life or to transform your life, you're going to have to educate yourself more in order to get that promotion, in order to be able to do that new thing. So this usually comes at a transformational period of your life, or either it's already, and not in order to change, but your life is already changing. And in order to feel more comfortable with this transition, you will have to learn. So like you see homes, like in order to either make more money so you can get your dream home, you're going to have to learn some new techniques, learn about financial literacy, learn about networking, learn about your new job, whatever this may be. But this is usually occurring to transform your life. This education that you're receiving is very much to transform your life. And you have to realize it's not just going to be a book education, but it's going to be a spiritual education that you all at the same time. Okay? You're going to have to learn whatever knowledge it is, like the knowledge of skill set, you're going to have to learn that, but you're also going to learn how to transform your being. You're also going to have to learn how to transform your mind. You're also going to have to transform your way of thinking. You're also going to have to transform your lifestyle. All of it, because you're becoming a new person. You're metamorphosizing. You're becoming reborn to yourself. And this takes knowledge, okay? So if you are in the Hierophant card, Hierophant, if you pull this card or you're in this energy, it's about learning. It's about teaching. You could also be doing this simultaneously, because I am a teacher, but I'm also an eternal student. I will always be learning to the day I die. I am a why can't I talk right now? I am a self-proclaimed nerd. I love to learn, okay? I love to try new things. I love to acquire knowledge. I love to read books. I love to study, all of this kind of a thing. So you should encourage yourself to always be learning, okay? Always be growing. Accept teachings, always be learning, okay? Because that's what this energy is about. So I wish you luck on your journey of education, whether this is self-education or you're receiving this education from someplace else. This will definitely change your life, and you may also be the person who changes somebody else's life, because what you learn and your life experience and going through this, if you turn around, you know, my mom says each one teach one. If you turn around and you teach the next person, you're continuing this perpetual cycle. You're learning and teaching, and you're being a benefit to your community and the world at large. So thank you so much for allowing me to do this video for you. Please, please, please subscribe to my channel. Ask your friends to subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, please. Also comment if you have any questions. I would be happy to answer any questions. You can check out my website, www.madebymetools.com, to see how you can order a reading from me, a personal reading about your own energy, especially if you're going through this energy right now. I have an awesome blog up there with different helpful and healing blog posts. And also I am going to be doing a class soon about how to manifest your dream life. And if you would like to sign up for the email list so you can stay notified about that class, you can also do that on my website. So thank you again, and you guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.